Howdy guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video of Westland Survival. How we doing? Hope you guys are well. So today, if you guys checked out the name of this video, you know what we're going to be doing. We're going to be bringing home our first tier 7 pet. Yes, that's right. We're going to be heading over to the Rio Bravo region and we're going to pick ourselves up a little pet for us to have a bit of a companionship with, you know. So I've been wanting to do this for quite some time and I had a discussion with the devs and I said, look, we've got a brand new update. We want to show all the viewers pretty much all the features that this update has to offer. And that includes, you know, capturing, well not capturing, but luring ourselves a tier 7 pet. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm excited and really wanted to sort of get into it, but I just wanted to sort of go through that, and I just wanted to give you a quick little disclaimer. Yes, I did ask the developers for this and I wanted you guys to know up front, so you know, not sort of showing off that, you know, we can get all this you know, stuff when we ask for them and stuff like that. It's just something that I wanted to show purely just for a content purpose. Okay, so I really wanted to sort of emphasize that and just let you guys know that, hey, I had a discussion, they agreed, they provided me the bait, and we are just going to go ahead and capture ourselves a new pet for ourselves. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, before I do that, I just want to make sure that I'm actually ready to go, and I think I've got everything else I need for this trip. I think what I need is I just want to make sure that our horsey, or for lack of better wording, our reindeer is all ready to go. So let's make sure that reindeer is good. You are good, very good. Alright, so if you guys notice, you would have seen the bait there. I won't reveal exactly what that bait is or what it actually, you know, means for us in terms of what animal that we can get our hands on, but we're going to head over to Prickly Lake and we're going to make sure that we are hydrated and fed and sorted out so we can tackle the elements. Now, I also want to head over this way as well, only because we do have some tasks to do. So we're still in the middle of the previous battle pass, so actually not too far away from finishing off, so allow me to let you guys have a bit of a peek ski and show you guys where we are at. But we're on the last stage, so I need to take out an American black bear. So hopefully we'll find one here at the Prickly Lake, and I think I'm going to need to skip these two because I don't have access to a rare tier 7 weapon, so I'm going to have to skip it, which is going to cost me 500 silver, and I don't have the lab set up for tier 7, so I'm going to have to also skip the sage ointment, which I'm actually planning on getting sorted out soon, but unfortunately I've ran out of time, so I won't have enough time to get that implemented by this battle pass end. So it is what it is. Actually, I had noticed something as well, and I don't think I'm going to be able to exemplify this, but we might show it a little bit later, more on the workshops. But there's also a 2-stage for tier 7. I don't know for those that were in the know about that or not in the know about that, but I wanted to explain that as well. So you've also got not only tier 7, but you got tier 7 plus, and the plus is mainly for rarities, so rare weapons and rare clothing. So I want to sort of at least acknowledge that to you guys, so you guys are aware of what that is all about. But yes, let us head over here. I'm not looking for anything else, but I wouldn't mind picking up some heals along the way whilst we're, you know, doing our thing. I just want to see what else we've got here. We've got a wolf here. I would love it if we can run into a bear, so that's basically my hope here. Okay, so we've got some peccaries here, and yes, the cat's out of the bag. It will be a peccary that we're going to be taming today. Unfortunately, nothing as vicious or a little bit more vicious than that, but look, a tier 7 animal is a tier 7 animal, so I'm not going to pick up one of those right now. I just want to go ahead and see if we can actually find ourselves a bear, which would be great if we could. Just sort of looking at my surveillance of the area, there seems to be a lot of red stuff around here. If I can go between these guys over here, let's go up this way. There's another Mexican wolf skating past here and managing to get myself out of harm's way until this fella showed up. So let's go ahead and take him, take his hide, of course. And another, oh, look at that, one-shot kill. Thank you very much. Make sure that I've healed myself up. Alright, let's not deal with those guys around here. Let's go over this way. But I'm hopeful we actually find ourselves a bear. Let's do it. Where are you, Mr. Bear? Okay, so that looks to be a... There's some bear... Ah, of course. Of course. Of course. Alright. Hopefully that chill dog runs away, which he has. Thank you very much. I didn't really want to engage too much into any sort of battle, so... There's a lot of bandits over here too, but okay. Thought I could just sneak my way through, and that didn't actually help. This is going to kill my armor durability, absolutely diminish it. I really didn't want to engage in these fellas, but couldn't be helped, could I? And what are you doing here? Get out of here, you! Don't really want you to be annoying me right now. Okay. Okay, we should be alright. You're just doing that. I'm going to leave you alone. I'm hoping there's a bear around here. I don't think there is. I don't think there is. It's a little bit of a disappointment. Let's just go up this way. Okay, so we've got wolves here and... Oh, okay. Okay. Let's just leave the map, come back to it, and see if there is in fact a bear around. And look, I might end up actually redoing this again. So what I mean by that is I might actually leave the area entirely and we'll just sort of circle back, which I feel like that might be the probable way of, I guess, you know, trying to find ourselves what we want, really. It doesn't look like there's anybody about here. Alright, I think that might be the go. I think that might be the go. I think we might have to actually do that, only just so we can spruik this bear, because I really want to finish this off. So if we can do that, that'd be great for us. So let's go ahead and do that. We've still got a couple of days with the old Derek as well before we can go and claim our next lot of oil. So yeah, just have to hang about until that happens, I guess. Let's continue on. Let's jump back in. Okay, thank you very much. Alright, bear, bear, bear. Come on, American black bear. There you are. Thank you so much for that. Let's take you out. Give me the one-shotter. Give me the one-shotter. Give me the one-shotter. No one-shotter. Looks like we're doing this the hard way, people. Okay, that's fine. We did it. Oops. Let's grab that. And now, let's find ourselves a peccary. Now, I've actually made this a lot harder for myself, of course. But we'll work it out. Let's just sneakeroo's our way around here, and we've got this bando here, along with another animal, the chill dog, and of course, get out of here, Mr. Leaks. Alright, Mr. Gunslinger. Actually, I was kind of hoping that they would have given me a lynx. I didn't really ask for any animal specifically, but I did ask just for a tier 7 animal. So if I could actually, you know, demonstrate what it looks like, how long it'll take for the taming process to, you know, to go from start to finish. So let's go ahead and use that. So that is the boar bait, which is a 7, which allows the luring up to boars to 125. As you can see, I've only got the 1. So let's go ahead and use, I can't use that because he walked away. Oh my goodness, all right. We don't even know if it's a he or a she, so that will be determined. Now, it's still got 5 minutes as the timer suggests, so that hasn't changed. So there's no different prerequisites or anything like that, which is fine. Let's go ahead and head back home, because we don't want to go about or do anything like that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, if you go to a different location, the pet that you've lured actually runs away, if I'm not mistaken. So I think you've only got 5 minutes within the same zone and then go back to your base. I think that's how it works, but yeah, it's been a while since I've actually tested that theory, to be perfectly fair. So, oh, that's an epic. Okay, I'm cool with that. So Granite is the name. is a male, 0 fertility unfortunately, but that takes a whole 3 days in order for us to wait for the taming period to be completed. So that is interesting. So 790 is the attack, so I'm curious to see. Okay, increased damage, the pet always has additional 30 damage, and this pet eats 50% less food, so that's where the epic comes into play. That's cool. Wow, okay. I wonder how much my other pets do as an attack damage, because this could very well be my most potent enemy. Oh, sorry, pet, which it is, because it beats Twister. It nearly beats Ruby. And everyone else, it just, yeah, there's no real other, what do you call it? There's no real other contest. But you know what? We're going to skip this. So I want to skip the adaptation, and we actually have ourselves a very own pet. Now, what you're looking at here as well is the EXP boost and gain and all that sort of stuff. So we've got just under 8,000 health. Comparing that to some of my other pets here, Ruby still, you know, takes the prize there. But in saying that, that is going to be superseded, right? Because this is our first tier 7. Now, I would say that Granite here would still be very useful to us as well. And in fact, I would say it'd still be very useful because, especially in lower tiers like tier 6 and tier 5, this pet would actually do a job for us. But I'll be keen to see what this looks like in terms of having a boar or a peccary in this example. How well this actually, you know, well, how he or she, whatever it might be, actually survives. So yeah, it's actually quite a neat little setup. And like I said, I'm grateful that the devs agreed to allow me to demonstrate this for you guys and show you guys. And I understand why that they didn't want to give me anything more than a peccary. You know, if I'd asked for, you know, a lynx or a wolf or an alpha wolf, for example, or even the American black bear, I think that'd be too much. I guess favored in my position. So I think this is probably the most fair. The fairness in this. So yeah, I felt like this would be an interesting way of doing things, right? So, but we're going to head back to Rio Bravo because I am curious to see how well the peccary actually does. So let's go ahead and do that now. And let's go ahead and just pop that there for the meantime. And as you can see, my gear is pretty much, pretty much a quarter left in terms of health. So yeah, look, can't do much about that, can we? But let's go ahead and see how Granite gets on. I love it. I love it. My first tier 7. And the fact that you're actually my most potent ally, it's ridiculous. Alright, let's go Mexican Wolf. Let's see how you go. So you do 800 damage. There you go. Look at you go. Okay, cool. Now, taking out one enemy, let's have a look at Granite real quick. And you had nearly 20,000 worth of EXP go right through. But look at that. That is, if I look at that correctly, that's over 4 million EXP that's required to go to the next level. So you're not going to finish their levels anytime soon. So it's going to take a little wee longer in order for this to actually become a reality before you can actually get yourself a much more potent ally there. But as you can see, we're at 58,500. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a slow burn. But I just wanted to sort of show you guys this. This is really cool. Really, really cool. Okay, get rid of you. Let's get rid of this sniper. Come on, Mr. Peccary. Do that for me. That. Yay. Yeah, so you can't unfortunately get the max level ups or anything like that in a quicker time frame, which is fine. Like I said, it's cool. It's just neat having it. But yeah, this little guy here will definitely shine once you sort of go to different areas and locations. So things like the, anything lower level graded. And I think that's where you're going to have, I guess, the benefits, right? But as you can see, any other enemies that we've got there are much better, right, than your standard boar. I mean, look, that's what they call it. It's called a boar. I call it a peccary because that's what it says on the screen, but let's just call it a boar. So the boar itself, it is a decent little guy, don't get me wrong. And if you want to go to, say, that of the swamp location, I think it'll do quite well. I think it'll serve you well. So I don't think there is an issue in working your way up to getting yourself a boar as a pet, right? And I don't think the requirements are all that significant compared to the other pets, but it could be. But I haven't had the chance to look at these either. So I'm still on level 1 boar bait. So there's really, you know, I guess the difference in that, it's obviously going to take a little while before we can actually see, you know, how good these fellas can be. But do I have, where is the what do you call it? I think I need to go to the, I thought it was the dovecote for some reason, that we can check all of this out. If I actually check the bait workbench, sorry. How do we do this again? Which one was it that we can go and see? Unless we could just take a trip all the way over to what's his name, which will probably be, I guess, the way to do it. You know what? Let's just do that. Let's go see the herbalist, the naturalist, sorry, and see what it takes for us to level up boars. Because why not? While we're here, while I've got you guys, it might not be as interesting, but it's interesting to me. And if it's interesting to some, well, you know, I've done my job, right? But hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight as to how long some of these, how long a pet will take to tame from a tier 7 location. So it's a 3-day ordeal, which is fine. But also, this might be dependent on what type of animals that you decide to capture. All right, so let's go speak to Vernum. So this is the requirements here, okay? So you need 3,500. Look at that. If I gave that back, it goes straight to 7,000. So that allows me to go to tier 4 without an issue. But I would imagine that will take a decent amount of time to collect to get to 50k. So yeah, I'm obviously not going to do that, but it's just interesting to see. So there's only 3 tiers, okay? So you've got your standard tier 2, you've got your tier 4, and then you've got your tier 7. So it jumps up quite a bit, if I'm being perfectly honest. So that's interesting. There's nothing for the coyotes because the coyotes have always been 1 historically, so everyone gets a coyote. But the coyote can only take you so far, right? And then you've got the bears, right? So you've got the bears. I've already unlocked the tier 1s, tier 1/tier 2. And then you've got the bear bait 3, you've got the 4, you've got the 5, you've got the 6, and then this is what the 7 looks like. So they've got the little hamper and the little bait next to them. But as you can see, you need 100,000 in terms of experience. And then the same deal with the pumas, same deal there. You need 100,000 for a tier 7. And then the alpha wolves here, that's what you're going to need. Another 100,000 to do this as well. So that allows you to go up to 140 that you can lure. And then this is what I'm working on at the moment. So I've unlocked tier 5, which allows me to go to the deep water and collect some lynxes from there, which I'm waiting on a couple of baits to be crafted and finished. And then once that's done, I can go out and collect some of those as well. But then for me to go and get a tier 6, it's going to cost me 50,000. I've already started eking a little bit into that as well because I did quite a bit of grinding for the tier 4 base. So it sort of pipped me over the line basically, and I was able to get a little bit more, which is great for me, of course. But otherwise, for that, then you've got the wolves, and then that's basically it. So they're all pretty standardized. There's really no differences aside from realistically the boars. Really, they're the only point of difference because obviously they are the weaker animal. I mean, coyote aside, coyote is the weakest animal, but then you've got the boars. The boars will supersede the coyotes once you get to the next tier anyway. And then obviously you've got the alligators here, which we can't unlock until you unlock all the other baits, I believe. That's the only way that you can do it, which is interesting to me. But otherwise, that's basically it, guys. I think that's everything I sort of wanted to cover off with you guys, and hopefully it's sort of giving you a little bit of insight now that we've got tier 7 available. That is something that I sort of wanted to show you there. But the last thing I wanted to show you before we sign off today, actually I nearly forgot about it because I mentioned it so early in the video, is the workstation situation. So let's quickly head back over to our ranch and just quickly give you a quick synopsis of what I was sort of discussing a little bit earlier on. So you can upgrade your workbenches to tier 7. So pretty much everything is available now. But if we go over to one, let's use the armor workbench as an example. Now I've upgraded that to tier 7, as you've seen. Okay, so it's a level 7 base. So it shows me all the recipes and things like that, which is all there, no problem. If I want to find the Sandscar outfit, I'm going to need to find those tubes in order for me to unlock them, which is fine, not a problem. But then if I want to upgrade, it goes to tier 7 plus. Now this enables rare and epic tubes. So basically the blueprints for those will become available, which I think they would be already available, but I think the availability for me to craft them is for me to go to tier 7 plus. So that's basically where that's at. And that's also the same situation and deal when it comes to the gun workbench, but I'm on tier 6 plus at the moment. So right now, so I need to go to tier 7, and then once I've done that, then there should be an extra recipe or two next to the uncommon weapons, and that'll be the same situation. So I'll need to go to a tier 7 plus, which at the moment I don't think I have anything set up as tier 7 plus. The forge is, that's the foundry, sorry. The forge was the other one I noticed this, and this is why I noticed it in the first place, because I had no idea this was actually a thing. Not to say that I actually took any notice of it, I didn't. But I can actually make basic tier 7 daggers and whatnot. I can upgrade them if I wish to do so, which I'm not going to. But the Musher's knife is something that I'm interested in upgrading. I know there's going to be a way better weapon for, I think it's in this one here. This will be something that I'll be more interested in later on, but I can't get to that right now because it's grayed out. But even if I do find this blueprint, I still need to upgrade it because it's classed as a tier 7 rare, and I've got the ability to go ahead and upgrade that if I should choose to do so, which I should probably do this because I've got the resources here, but it's not high on my priority list. So I'd rather sort of put those resources aside for other things that are coming, and I'd rather sort of get that done myself in other ways, and then I can always come back to this at a later stage. But yeah, I just wanted to show you guys and sort of give you guys a bit of an idea on how that sort of looks, and introduce you guys to Granite because it's my new tier 7 pet. But like I said, it's going to take a little while for Granite to get upgraded and things like that, so there's not going to be anything that I'll be able to show you max level or anything like that. But if you go on metrics from previous ones, I think the most I'm probably going to get is a 10 level jump, but what we don't know is what that looks like at the very end. And the only other thing I'm disappointed in is we don't have any fertility. So it's on 0 fertility, so I can't mate this with another one and expect to have a baby boar or anything like that. So can't do much about that. But anyway, that's all that I wanted to get through today. But I want to thank you guys for stopping by, checking out this video. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment down below, and share it if you can. If you guys are new to the channel or not and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell icon so you don't miss out on any future videos. Alrighty guys, take it easy from me. As always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.